Hallelujah. Let Lord Jesus Christ shine forth. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are joining us. Welcome to live stream on Hatun Tash DCCI Ministries. It was David's channel before I murdered it. Peace of Christ be with you, David. How are you doing?
I murdered it.
You murdered it. It's good that someone is taking responsibility. Long time no see. How are you doing, David?
Good. Just trying to figure out what to say here in sharing the link on X, trying to not be mean and say too much about low IQs.
You can compliment to high IQs. It's amazing to see what high IQ individuals does to the world.
Daniel
Anyway,
Hakikachus.
so while David is writing that, it's good to have some people in the chat. I think this is the live stream after like few years. So that channel is kind of breathing out and breathing in a little bit. So we are going to talk about the debate took place, I think, over a week ago in somewhere in America by DebateCon, modern day debate between Andrew Wilson and Daniel Hakikachi. So I was in Boston. I just got to watch it and then laugh at it recently. I just thought we do live stream about it and then we can laugh it together. Good plan.
Yeah, I still haven't seen it. I've seen a couple clips, and then I jumped in while AP was talking about it, but this is while I was still getting ready for one of my presentations in Boston. So I jumped in for a few minutes, laughed at Daniel. Hats off to Daniel, though. Like, it takes quite a bit of honesty to admit that Islam produces lower IQs, low IQ societies, and that Islam depends on low IQ societies to keep people from leaving Islam. That's got to be hard to admit, but he was honest.
Well, so debate is altogether 1 hour 44 minutes 29 seconds, and intro starts with he has been introduced as someone from Harvard, so he went to Harvard.
High IQ.
I met a couple of people last week from Harvard. They look very clever to me. But something happened to Daniel Hakikachi, so he's making case for low IQs.
Powerful case.
Okay, let me share the clip where he's talking. So all over, kind of, debate goes on. I'm just going to share a little bit of it, and then we see what we can see from this. Ready? Hopefully you can hear it, and those of you in the chat, if you are not able to see and hear the video, kindly let us know, so we make sure everything works well.
Right, 85 to 100 for skilled labor. What they're talking about is just basic day laborers. These people are very low IQ. And by the way, we even make the claim that they're really choosing Islam anyway. They can't really think about it that hard, right? So the question becomes, as we're kind of diving into this, I just want to point.
Wow. They said they can't really think about it because they're low IQs. Wow. Oh, poor Daniel.
I think he has a case. Okay. When you ask a Muslim, why are you today Muslim? How many times you get proper response from a Muslim? Very rare.
0.
Well, I was generous. I said very rare.
Yeah, that is a serious issue, and that like think about the arguments over the Quran has been perfectly and miraculously preserved right down to the letter. There isn't one letter's difference between any two Qurans anywhere in history. And it's like, you can go to their sources about how the Quran was formed. It was a disaster. You can go to manuscripts, see all the differences. You can go to different Qurans in different parts of the world today, which is what you did when you showed up to Speaker's Corner with 26 different Qurans. And I remember seeing Muslims in the comments and so on after you showed up to Speaker's Corner with 26 different Arabic Qurans, and they were saying it was she must have printed those up herself with differences in them, and it's like, I mean, like the entire community falls for something that would take literally like 2 minutes of research to see is completely bogus, and the entire ummah will fall for it, and then we have to spend years of our lives refuting the lies. And then what's amazing is after it's exposed as a lie, they'll go back to the exact same guys who lied to them the first time for more lies about other things, and it's really really weird. So I guess we could think of all of this in terms of low IQs.
Something Islam does to mind, like I met people who were Christians and become a Muslim. As a Christian, they are critically thinking about everything. They are asking questions, following the structure, like, oh, my people destroyed for lack of knowledge. Come, let us reason together. The moment they become a Muslim, suddenly all of their brain cells are frozen. They can't think. Like, you ask them very basic question, they can't think, and the situation they are in, they try to justify it. Sad, isn't it? Just, but yeah.
Yeah, it's all submission, 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 and by submission, you can see it in Surah 4, verse 65. Muslims say, "Hey, Islam is just a religion of submission to Allah." But you look, Surah 4, verse 65 says that the way you submit to Allah is by submitting to all of Muhammad's decisions and having no resistance against any of them. So you have to unquestioningly obey everything that Muhammad says. And so not going to produce many questions if questioning is the sign of an unbeliever who hasn't submitted.
In a sense, it's helpful because you don't need to make any decisions. You're just like, okay, this is what it is. I just follow. Okay, he doesn't like garlic. I don't like garlic anymore. He doesn't like this. I don't like this anymore. So like, very practical thing, but that's not what makes us who we are. It just, anyway, uniqueness of Islam. I think we can call that uniqueness of Islam. Does something to your brain. You don't think for yourself. You just obey. Like, I'm sure 20 years ago, Mr. Hakikachi wasn't kind of defending all the things he's defending right now. Once he decided he's going to practice Islam the way 465 expresses, then this is the fruit of it.
Yep, got to be as dumb as possible. The dumber, the better, apparently.
Like, you end up in a platform you have to defend to be stupid. You have to defend why you need to be stupid.
We should get pictures. We should get T-shirts with Daniel Hakikachu's picture on there, and it just says Islam, the dumber, the better, and that's it. Daniel Hakikachu.
Watch all of the video. It's so funny. It will just make you laugh. Anyway, okay. Let me continue.
Out one more time. The argument is around a singular Christian principle. The singular Christian principle is that we're not allowed to marry our first cousins. That's in our ecclesiology. And I don't care if you're a Protestant, right? Almost no Protestants do this, right? No Catholics do this. Orthodox, this is forbidden as well. It's not that you couldn't find some sect somewhere, some small society somewhere which practices it. I'm sure that that's the case, but by and large and overwhelmingly it's not. With Islam, the opposite's true. By and large and overwhelmingly they do. So we're basing this on a singular principle, which is Christian, and that's what I want a refutation for. Why is marrying your first cousin for the purpose of building low IQ societies better than not doing that?
Go ahead, Daniel. Again, it's not a causal relation. Islam doesn't mandate marrying your cousin. It's not like we're saying we want to keep IQ low, so marry your cousin. You keep getting the causal chain wrong about this. The second point that I want you to address is that when we look at IQ increasing, that is associated with more atheism. It is directly correlated with higher levels of atheism. The higher the IQ goes, the more people become atheists. This is a...
Atheists should be clipping the crap out of this, right? I'm thinking if I were an atheist, I'd be snatching that up right there and posting that all over the place.
Well,
It's pretty funny that because I don't know what arguments Daniel. No, I think I see a clip. I don't remember if I saw what arguments Daniel was using in his opening statement, but it looks like it looks like Andrew just said, "Okay, here's where we're going with this debate," and Daniel just went along with it. Okay, we're gonna do all the debate about first cousin marriage and IQs. But again, I haven't seen the rest of us. I don't know if they're talking about Daniel's points or not. But if if this is where it got to, that's pretty funny.
No, I think the Andrew Wilson guy was able to control the kind of how the structure was working of the debate. So he was, in that sense, it was good.
So he took the debate in the direction he wanted to go.
Even though Daniel Hakikachi went first. So usually assumption would be in a debate, the person who goes first sets the scene.
Mm-hmm.
So he made his opening statement, Andrew Wilson made his opening statement, and then they had 90 seconds of kind of respond to one another for a long time. So this is during that respond. They're taking like 90 seconds to kind of respond to one another. And yeah, so Islam produces idiots. I don't want to be mean, but like that's what the position Daniel Hakikachi.
Yeah, it's not. We don't even have to say it. Daniel is saying it. It's like, hey, this is crazy that they call us Islamophobes. You got Daniel Hakikachi going, yes, we're the religion of low IQs and banging first cousins.
So that's he was saying, like Andrew Wilson was saying, like this is the result of this, and using all those like swearing words even in his statements. And then Daniel Hakikachi is simply like someone who graduated from Harvard, simply stood there and then defended, if you want to be Muslim, you need to be idiot. That's what he did.
Yeah, I mean that's worse than I would say. I try to be nice and so on. He's just coming right out. No, we want the low IQs and weird stuff. It's amazing because I've been saying it for years that Dawa guys don't last long. If you look at the Dawa guys from 2005, they were different from the Dawa guys in 2010, and the Dawa guys in 2010 were different from the Dawa guys in 2015, and the ones in 2015 were different from 2020, and the ones who were coming around in around 2020, they're fading out right now. You remember, I mean, Daniel came out and he had his method. I'm going to cite all these different studies and so on. And he got popular real quick, and now it's, yes, give us your dumb, you're stupid, you're brainless, and we need them for our religion. All you smart people, get away, get as far away from our religion as possible. We don't want you leading us out of Islam.
I listen, like you listen, Yasser Qadi and some other individuals who's got like high qualification in Islam. The way they defend it kind of still makes you to kind of think, yeah, they can make arguments, they can defend Islam in somehow, even though you like it or you don't like it, or you find faults in their arguments. Like you see, there's little bit wisdom in it. Like last week, I met a professor from Harvard. He's he did lots of work in Quran. He's Muslim, and that guy is very clever. Like I listened to him. Maybe I don't know much about the topic, therefore I think he's clever. But according to Daniel Hakikachi, even though you graduated from Harvard, yeah, you need to be idiot to be Muslim and stay in it.
But we're the Islamophobes.
I should edit this out as like, and this is like still we are in Islamophobe month of Islamophobia.
Yeah, Daniel had to lead out with this for Islamophobia Awareness Month. Muslims are the real Islamophobes, apparently.
Let me give him his 90 seconds because we don't want to take him out of context. Maybe he apologizes and then says, I stand here as an example that we have high IQ.
Yeah, yeah. I was just kidding, guys. We only want really good arguments made for people who are intelligent enough to examine them critically.
Yeah, let's go back a little bit.
Anyway, they can't really think about it that hard, right? So
It must suck people laughing like that.
Right, as we're kind of diving into this, I just want to point out one more time, the argument is around a singular Christian principle. The singular Christian principle is that we're not allowed to marry our first cousins. That's in our ecclesiology. And I don't care if you're a Protestant, right? Almost no Protestants do this, right? No Catholics do this. Orthodox is forbidden as well. It's not that you couldn't find some sect somewhere, some small society somewhere which practices it. I'm sure that that's the case, but by and large and overwhelmingly it's not. With Islam, the opposite's true. By and large and overwhelmingly they do. So we're basing this on a singular principle, which is Christian, and that's what I want a reputation for. Why is marrying your first cousin for the purpose of building low IQ societies better than not doing that?
Again, it's not a causal relation. Islam doesn't mandate marrying your cousin. It's not like we're saying we want to keep IQ low, so marry your cousin. You keep getting the causal chain wrong about this. The second point that I want you to address is that when we look at IQ.
What did he just say? It's not that you want to make. Okay, I think he said it's not that you want to make IQs low, so you marry your cousin. It's what?
Yeah, that's not intention. Yeah, intention is not like I'm going to marry in the intention. My end result, I want it to be have a low IQ.
Oh, it's just I really want to marry my cousin, and the low IQ is just a happy byproduct of that, and works well for Islam, huh?
Such a encouraging religion, isn't it?
Yeah, I read this was a couple of years back, but I read a theory that the reason IQs ended up higher in certain places was certain places were banning cousin marriage or convincing people that it's bad and not to do it. And over time, the IQs rise, and then those places those places end up doing better. And so, interesting. It's actually.
So we had in the House of Parliament a couple of months ago, there were discussion regarding banning the cousin marriage because of the result of cousin marriage. You've got like child who is disabled, all those kind of things, like has mental health issues, disability, all that. And then Muslim MP was making a case why cousin marriage is important and cultural and should not be banned. There was an article talking about it and then telling like how children who are born out of cousin marriage, first relation marriages, are actually not, I don't know how to put that nicely, not fully formed as well as not fully thinkers. I don't know how to put that nicely, but
yeah, it's rough. It's like if someone just went out and married his cousin for the first time, there's probably not, unless they have some recessive gene, they both share some recessive gene right there that is going to lead to an immediate impact. Probably not going to be too serious of a problem. It's like it happens generation after generation, and then all the recessive genes. So guys, you have dominant genes and recessive genes. Lots of disabilities and medical problems and so on are carried on a recessive gene, such that if you have a normal dominant gene, you're okay. So it doesn't affect you. You've got one that doesn't have the problem, and then you have the problem, but you'll be okay because you've got the dominant one, and that's okay. If you have like generations of cousin marriage, all of a sudden your offspring are getting both recessive genes, and then you have the problem, and it's just it's bad stuff, and it's just a weird situation where it's like in Islam, it's always like, what's the bare minimum that we're required to do? Like with hijab and so on. It's like, what's the bare minimum I'm required to do for a wife or second wife? Something like, what's the bare minimum that I can get by with? And it's like, why aren't you thinking in terms of what's best? And it's like this here. It's like, oh, we're allowed to marry our first cousins. And it's like, oh, okay, granted, in Islam, you're allowed to marry your first cousin. Why don't you realize that it's very harmful and stop it anyway? Say, okay, we're allowed to do it, but it's harmful, so we're not going to do it. It's like you're allowed to marry children in Islam. Doesn't mean you have to do it. You could say, hey, that's harmful, so we're not going to do it. But it's just, no, we want to defend the bare minimum that we're obligated to do.
Do I remember correctly, the reason there is cousin marriage, first relation marriages, because Prophet of Islam, peace, police, FBI, child protection be upon him, simply married his cousin. Therefore, people are following his example.
Yeah, Zainab was his first cousin, but it's one of the things. You have the relations that are forbidden in Islam, and first cousin marriage is allowed. And then you have Muhammad, the prophet of Islam, and the pattern of conduct for Muslims marrying his first cousin. So how can you even say it's something bad or harmful? Muhammad did it. He's the example.
I think people can easily pick up you've got high IQ, I've got lower IQ. So am I right to assume that since Muhammad, Surah 33, Muhammad is marrying with Zainab, are we also thinking that Allah did not kind of think through the applications of the cousin marriage?
Yeah, Allah really dropped the ball on that one. He's like, wow, Muhammad's cousin's really hot, so Muhammad needs to take her so he can have this super hot lady. But he's not thinking like, down the line, like, oh, this is other Muslims are going to take him as their pattern of conduct because I said it. And it's going to lead to all sorts of medical problems and disabilities and low IQs. But I mean, if Daniel's right and Allah wants that because that's actually what's necessary for Islam, maybe it was a brilliant move by Allah. I'll do stuff that keeps IQs as low as possible, and that will be my best approach at keeping people following Muhammad.
Okay, I was going to give him his 90 seconds to speak. We don't want to, as I said, we don't want to take him out of context. This guy is from Harvard.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he's going to say, oh, sorry, I didn't mean that. This is what I meant. So let's give him his 90 seconds.
That is associated with more atheism. It is directly correlated with higher levels of atheism. The higher the IQ goes, the more people become atheists.
Clip it.
This is a bad thing. I would assume that Christians would agree more atheism is a bad thing. I think that modern society...
Pause that.
I don't know.
We can't let him talk 90 seconds. You just can't do it. It's too dumb. Think about what he's saying. He's saying Christians should agree with me. We don't want more atheism. Therefore, we don't want higher IQs. Therefore, we need more first cousin marriage to keep the IQs down, to keep people from becoming atheists. Oh my goodness.
See, this is another example how Muslim missionaries are uniting with Christians against atheism.
That's all on our cousins.
Yeah, this is something we can unite. We don't want more atheists. So what are we going to do is we want to marry with our cousins, and then we want to produce babies with low IQ and low IQ who is not going to think anything about anything. Therefore, they are all going to be Muslim. And then once we get rid of the atheism, since we've got very low IQ, I am sure we will be able to win all the arguments these atheists are bringing with this low IQ. After that, the people who are united, I will go after them.
That's it.
Yeah, Christians and Muslims unite against atheism.
That's the Dawa master plan.
Yeah, and then once the atheism is over, because probably since Muslims are the low IQ, I am assuming it will be the Christians who are providing the solution to atheism. and there won't be any atheists. Okay, it's only Muslims and Christians. What's gonna happen? Our friendship now destroyed. Muslims will come after Christians.
Yes, they will.
Okay, 90 seconds to him.
We're not going to make it.
If you guys have been looking around, but seemed like I've felt, at least myself, that over the past 5 years, especially, first with the pandemic and now everything that's happening in the world where World War III is about to break out, I think the modern world is a dystopia. I am waiting for, nuclear holocaust to destroy us all. I don't believe in this absolute value of modern society. And therefore, I don't agree with your premise that high IQ is something valuable in and of itself. There are many things to point out being wrong or bad with high IQ. Again, I prefer to turn the clock back 200 years, where Christians had these traditional Christian societies. Muslims had traditional Muslim societies. Yeah, you didn't have a laptop, you didn't have internet, you didn't have cars. But guess what? You didn't have to worry about your wife having to, being in college and sleeping with every frat boy in the university, and you don't even know her history because of feminism. You have like LGBT degeneracy. You have elderly who are being shipped off to old folks' homes because there's not a strong family unit to take care of our own elderly. Children are being shipped off to daycares because there's not a strong family, strong marriage, mom at home with traditional roles to take care of the children. I prefer the low IQ. I prefer the low technology society.
Yeah, guys, I mean, think about his argument right there, right? Because there's lots of things that he's saying that would resonate with many people. Hey, look at all these problems in society. And so, okay, but what's he actually saying? Look at all these problems in society. The solution to these problems is having extremely low IQs, and therefore we should all be having sex with our first cousins. So that was his point, guys. Not, hey, intelligence is good, high IQs are good, and we need to focus on having good arguments for people and so on. Not that. Nope. High IQs lead to all sorts of problems because, guys, the real situation is having high IQs is going to lead to more advancement and innovation and more wealth and things like that. And those things, if you do not encourage virtue sufficiently and so on, people will start going in all sorts of different directions and so on. So what's the solution? Make everyone as dumb as possible? That's what he's saying. I prefer low IQ societies because they won't put us in that situation.
And he's saying, "Oh yeah, I would want to live 200 years earlier, where there is none of this technology. Woman doesn't go to get education, all these kind of things."
And it's just a weird situation because I mean, there are places like that in the world. Daniel could move to some village in Afghanistan right now, and it would be his paradise.
Yeah.
So, like, what's he doing here?
I guess over there he will be identified as heretic, right? Or kafir. And then wouldn't survive. And God knows what will they do to his wife. So I'm going to respond to this comment. Actually, I don't know that much about Al-Zud. But it kind of came up a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
So the Al-Zud can transfer strength, not intelligence. And Muslims still intact the night five times a prayer, I think, 5 times a day.
Yeah, as far as the studies I read, the beliefs were that men can inject their strength and manliness and virility and potency and so on into other men. I don't recall seeing anything about injecting their intelligence. Because, I mean, if they could, then Muhammad would have been the smartest man alive.
Would you be kind enough? Well, he's so smart. That's what he produced, like 21st century followers of him just standing in a platform, taking mic and camera and then saying, "Be idiot for Islam to survive." So that's the kind of what Muhammad produced. What is Alzut, David? I hear people are talking about this kind of things, but sometimes it's difficult to kind of keep eye on whole of the beauty of Islam.
Yeah, so the Al Zut were the ancestors of the Jat people who are now in India and Pakistan. And back then, they were like traveling migrant workers and so on. So they'd go around as groups and stuff and work. And they were in Arabia and apparently informed Muhammad that they could turn him into the most virile man in the world. And so went out into the desert with him, transferred all their manliness into him, and then his followers could brag from then on that he had the strength of 30 men.
Okay, something happened very similar to what is happening to some of the boys in madrasas in Pakistan, I guess.
Mm-hmm. And what's happening metaphorically to Daniel Hakikachu in this debate?
Well, he's trying to defend how to be stupid. Stupid is the best way to live your life. That reminds me. Do you remember the clip of Ali Dawa? He was talking about akıl versus knuckle.
Mm-mm.
Knuckle over akıl. Let me actually. I don't think I can find that now, but so he was critiquing. I can't remember the context what he was critiquing, but he was just like simply saying, "Don't use your brain. Just go with whatever. Don't use your brain." That's what he was saying, like brain over belief. Well, I can't check it because my computer is like rainbow.
He's right. Akal and knuckle, eh?
Yeah, akıl versus knuckle. No, I don't think I'm gonna able to find that. But anyway, okay. So I wanted to make sure I give enough time to Daniel Hakikachi to make his case.
Case
Because,
for low IQs?
In case he says I'm someone from Harvard, that like I didn't mean that. Those kind of things. You know, like you let person to use the time and then make the case. And at the end, he made the case in his 90-second. Actually, I prefer low IQ.
But I mean, here's what's weird. It's like if you're just appealing to low IQs, like how solid does your case need to be, right? Because it's for low IQ people. They're not following all the reasoning. It's just like you just go, you dumb, good, dumb is good, and then they're like, yay, or something like that. But you don't need like really give a good argument because you're not going to convince a smart person that it's better to be stupid. You can only convince a stupid person that it's good to be stupid.
Well, I think instead of like spending that whole 1 hour 44 minutes, let's say half of time is belonged to him. So all he needed to do is
me strong and dumb, me strong and dumb, me strong dumb.
Yeah, I think he would able to get away with that. Okay, let me show how a couple of years ago Ali Dawa was also encouraging people to not use their brain. He wasn't saying like be idiot. He was just gently encouraging people to be idiot. So there were two things different.
I know, let's try to bring it down to a logical level and try to explain it in a logical
A logical level? Ali Dawa?
Why do we have to understand everything in the context where, why does it always have to be logical? Why does it have to be something where we're like, oh, explain it to me logically, or, I'm going to start doubting things. I have to understand this logically. Who do you think you are? Why do we have to understand everything? The problem is this, taking the aql over the naql. That is exactly our problem. And we apply this into our day-to-day life. I don't need to bring it to how does it happen, but it doesn't make sense to me. Who cares with your little brain? And who are you with your little brain to try to understand this thing?
Imagine you take the platform and then tell your audience, like, you are stupid, never think about these things, just follow. Amount of email you will get from people saying, like, wow, you need to pull yourself together. Versus a couple of years ago, Ali Dawah just like, don't use your brain. And then now Daniel Hakikachi is like, yeah, we see what happens to the people who use their brain. They have a case though, because you look at it around and then you get to hear people who start asking questions, who kind of practice their IQ a little bit, and then their brain cells start moving fast, and then they start thinking. They start asking questions, and then they have doubts, and then they walk out of Islam. So they want to stop that.
Akal and knuckle. You don't know how funny that sounds to an American who grew up in the 80s, because we used to watch a cartoon called Heckle and Jekyll. Or Heckle and Jekyll, and he's got the Akal and knuckle. So anyway, Ali Dawah.
Good for Muslims. Very good. David,
Yeah.
what does high IQ does besides leading people apparently into education and atheism and building out roads, and then kind of what else higher IQ does?
It destroys society and leads people out of Islam, so it's bad. So marry your first cousin, stick with that. You're all good. It's pretty straightforward. I mean, here's what's weird. I mean, Daniel's right. If you want to keep people in Islam, just keep marrying first cousins and lower the IQ, keep the society having a low IQ as possible, and it's better odds that they're going to stay in Islam. So he's technically correct. It's just weird to be propping that up as a virtue for your religion.
Good thing is he's telling that to the world. My followers are idiot. Muslims are idiot. Let's keep Muslims in Islam. Keep away from them from the education. Like, one of the things I was just thinking about it. If you go to the Muslim majority countries, so in UK, in USA, when it's 5 o'clock, you just close the shops, okay? Doesn't matter what kind of shop is. You lock the doors, everything. In Muslim majority countries, you sell the books most of times on the street corners, and you never you never put them inside. Only you put them inside if weather is going to be like raining, all those kind of things bad. Reason for that is because they know no one is going to come and then get those books. People don't read it, so they keep their books out there, and that's in Muslim majority countries.
Yeah, the only way they're going to do something with those books is like if they find out their first cousin's interested in books, and then they want to impress the first cousin to marry them. They'll be like, "Oh, look, I have books over here, books." But a couple generations later, they won't be interested in the books.
Let's look at the pictures. Let's look at the coloring stuff, since their probably cousins wouldn't even know the very basics. But I know there are some Muslims out there who has little bit higher IQ, and I know those Muslims are becoming ex-Muslims, and therefore Muslims are encouraging one another to not study, stuck in Islam, do not ask questions. Allah doesn't like questions at all.
It's kind of a weird compliment to you and AP and every ex-Muslim out there, and the whole avalanche of apostasy. It's sort of a weird compliment that you guys were your IQs were too high for this religion, so you left. Shame on you.
That's a compliment. I should kind of put a video saying Daniel Hakikachi compliments AP and Hatun, all that. But what does it say about his wife? not very good things, but probably she doesn't have that much right to comment on those kind of things.
Yeah, hey, it's weird because it's kind of double for wives, right? So the goal in Islam is just to have a general low IQ to keep people in Islam, but according to Islam, women are intellectually deficient, so they're even worse. So if you end up with like an average IQ of 70 in a society, but the women, according to Muhammad, are intellectually deficient, they have to be even worse off. And so Daniel Hakikachu's wife, wow, my goodness.
So you are, since I've got like little bit low IQ than you, so you are saying my IQ was under 70, but something happened and now it's like over 80 or something, over 90.
No, there's variations. There's variations within a population. So you can have the average IQ is very low. I don't know what it is in Turkey. You can have an average low IQ, but you know, you'll have variation within a population, and you are unlucky enough to have a high IQ, and this leads you out of Islam. Weird religion.
So Allah couldn't plan at the first place that I'm gonna have low IQ than man, or Allah allowed me to have a higher IQ as I went forward in the education, and then so Allah made me with a high IQ someone who left Islam.
Well, what if Allah is just low IQ and he just keeps screwing up like this?
Don't know. But he didn't do a very good job. On everything, not only intelligence of woman, but on everything. If a man serious, like when I saw this in Boston, I'm just like, a man graduated from Harvard is making a case that you need to be stupid to stuck in Islam. You need to be stupid and idiot to be Muslim. That's what Islam does to mankind. Destroy your brain cells.
And it's that he's doing it at a debate conference where you're supposed to present the strongest case you can to show that you have the best case. And his case is, hey, wouldn't it be better if we were all so dumb we can't understand any of this, and then we could just never be led out of Islam?
So I was downloading the video. I got it from Daniel Hakikachi's YouTube channel. And then you scroll down the comments. There were no people were not complaining, why are you calling us idiot? No one was saying, like, people were just saying like, yeah, Andrew Wilson didn't do a good job. Like, but like his listeners, his audience are not even picking up. They were just called stupid idiots.
Yeah, it's all thank you, Daniel, for defending my marriage to my 4 first cousins. Thank you for
Not very good.
We're the Islamophobes, though.
This should be like best video for the Islamophobia awareness month. I put it there in case I remember and then edit it out.
I'm going to nominate Daniel for Islamophobe of the Year. Not just for this. It's like the combination of all the various things he's been saying. So for instance, he recently posted that according to Christianity, Jesus raped Mary because he's God and supernaturally impregnated Mary. And he said that this is rape. And it's like, wait a minute, according to Islam, Allah and the Spirit, Muslims usually interpret that as Jibreel. So Allah and Jibreel supernaturally impregnated Mary, which according to Daniel is, and it's like, how do you do this? How do you do this? So anyway, it's going to lead to Daniel's causing a lot of problems in the Ummah. He couldn't do any better if he were a paid agent of Mossad, the way he's going right now. But yep, definitely up for Islamophobe of the Year.
He's not doing well from Muslim circles when it comes to Tawhid as well. Maybe that's because he's got low IQ.
That's a goal.
Defending low IQ. Okay. Let me see if there are any comments or any questions.
Hey, one sec. Did you see? I only saw a clip that was posted, but AP debated that guy. It looks like Junior, but he spelled it with a V. So candidate for low IQ right there. Couldn't even spell Junior. But anyway, he was on there. Oh no, yeah, this was IP.
AP
Yeah.
debated with a Muslim guy, young Muslim guy. His name starts with G. J.
Yeah, it's like Junior or something like that. But IP, Inspiring Philosophy, also debated him.
Yeah.
And IP was pointing out that Aisha was prepubescent, and then the guy responded. He goes, "No, because she was still playing with dolls, and that wasn't allowed after you reach puberty." And IP goes, "Yeah, so that means she hadn't reached puberty, right?" And he's going, "No, it means she had reached puberty." And IP's going, "Wait, what? What are you saying?" So you can't. It was like the weirdest thing ever. Oh gosh. Makes me wish I'd gone just to be sitting there. I didn't go because I wasn't debating and so on. It was like I don't need to be there to watch them because I can always watch them later. But that's all this stuff is stuff I like. I wish I was in the audience for this stuff, just seeing it in all its glory.
So let me just understand. Because Aisha was playing with the dolls, and that is allowed in Islam. That is allowed in Islam only if you are just a child, and you are not bleeding yet.
Mm-hmm.
And Muslim uses that as because if you are a child, you can play with the dolls. You are not bleeding yet. That's okay. That Aisha is playing with the dolls, therefore Aisha is adult.
That's exactly what he said. So it's, hey, Aisha was prepubescent. No, she wasn't prepubescent because in Islam, you can't play with dolls after you've reached puberty, and Aisha was playing with dolls. And IP's like, well, that means she hadn't reached puberty, right? And the guy didn't get it. That's how. It's like Daniel had his entire case for low IQs, and then as an example, Junior came along.
Yeah, I'm looking at his thing. He's been posting lots of things. Yeah, he's very much proud of the things he's been saying. He identifies himself as what does it say? Unapologetic Muslim Palestinian. Cousin marriage, low IQ. Don't know. But it shows, I know I shouldn't be agreeing with Daniel Hakikochi, but it shows he has a very, very strong case.
He's got a pretty airtight case. It's just really weird.
But good thing is it's not you who is saying that, because if you say it, everyone is like, oh, David Wood is Islamophobe, hates Muslims, all those kind of things. Muslim is saying that, and it's going down well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like everything else, right? Like we can say, hey, Islam calls for violently subjugating the world, and they'll go, boo, Islamophobe, boo, ban this guy. And then one of their guys will say, yes, we're going to violently subjugate the world, and they'll all go, yay. We can say, hey, Islam calls for killing apostates and allows sex with prepubescent girls, and let's say, no, that's evil. How dare you say that? But then one of their guys say it, and they say, yay, awesome point. Strange stuff.
That's what Islam does to human brain. That's what Islam does to human brain. You are trying to get that video, or
I don't remember where I saw it. Someone had shared it on Twitter. I looked on IP's channel; it's not there. So I don't remember where I saw it, but it was in that debate.
It's okay. We need to encourage people to still speak and then ask questions and then talk. That might help them to kind of develop their IQ, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even though he doesn't understand very basics, he can't even make argument. Probably it will help him to think through. There is always hope. There is always hope. Okay, so I think we'll stop here. I was gonna look at a couple of comments. There were a couple of comments. Someone thinks Daniel Hakikochi lies about being Harvard graduated. Is that because he's defending to be idiot? I don't know if that is the case, but yeah, that's even in the introduction of the debate, that's how he's been introduced. And then someone is questioning Daniel Hakikoshi's debate skills and then saying, why doesn't Daniel say that first cousin marriage is in Sunnah and then he can just move on? But yeah.
Yeah, just it's Sunnah.
And then
That's
move
it.
on. But no, he didn't do that. He
Drop the ball. Drop the ball like Allah did.
He could simply defend it. But he went for defending low IQ. So there is yeah, I've seen the clips of his debate with AP. But David is talking about his debates with IP, inspiring philosophy. Well, we can look at that, and then, yeah, that doesn't look good if that is the case. But another way of
here's what's interesting. It's most of the, I mean, apart from which of the Dawa guys is still like willing to debate. So Daniel, to his credit, I mean, he does a crap job, but he still shows up to debate and so on. But now they're like at junior level. So that's like really dumb. But I mean, think about the situation that they're in. They're smarter Dawa guys. That's relative to their, like junior. Smarter guys are smart enough to realize, hey, we don't want to step in and try to defend Muhammad. It's not going to go well. Well, what happens when they don't show up? Well, now you get like junior. So not looking good. Not looking good for Islam.
And still, we've got like 1 more month to go for this year. And so far, defenders of Islam, we still need to give them, as you said, like we give them credit for turning up the debates, even being brave enough to defend all those kind of things. But it just doesn't make Islam look salable.
Oh, I mean, just so everyone knows, yeah, we've only got a month left in this year. It's going to be a fun month. We got a fun month ahead. We're going to close out 2025 with a bang, everybody.
Even that sound doesn't look good.
Yeah, not in the zut sense. But,
well, I guess that will be the difference between high IQ and low IQ people.
I think even the low IQ people are going to start seeing this.
If you repeat the same thing again and again, people will believe. So that's what the Dawa gangs are doing. And then we will go against that, and then we will repeat it until they pull themselves together. Okay, I think we will stop here. David, anything happening in your part of the world? Anything you want people to kind of keep eye on, pray for?
I don't know. I have I have a video, should be up in the morning. It's about I just took tons of screenshots of Muslims in the comment section of one video who are all ex-Muslims, but it was like hundreds of them. It was like hundreds of ex-Muslims in the comment section of one video. So I I took a bunch of screenshots because they started saying where they're from. Like, hey, I'm an ex-Muslim from Pakistan. Like, hey, I'm an ex-Muslim from Afghanistan. Hey, I'm an ex-Muslim from here. And screenshotting them. And so tonight I'm going to sort of map out. I've got all the comments together. I'm going to put them on a map so that's there. And if I can get this video up for Friday, I've got I've got a bunch of the Dawa guys admitting some very, very, very bad stuff about their entire religion and about their paradise, and going to be significantly worse for them than the Zut story.
So it looks like Islam doesn't need critics of Islam to step in to expose Islam. Muslims are doing amazing job.
We could go do something else in the world. Islam would still implode because of the Dawa guys and what they're doing. We're just helping them along, you know, giving them a little push in the right direction, helping it speed up the process.
Well, we keep eye on your channel to see that video, and it's always very encouraging to see around the world that these low IQ individuals becomes higher IQ and leave Islam. So that's always good. So like wherever you go, almost in every country, you've got one name. So that's like very, very encouraging. Okay, we will stop here. By God's grace, probably we will have another live stream next week this time. David, thank you very much for joining me, and thank you very much for pointing out that we are not the idiot ones, and Islam needs idiots to be Muslims, to Islam to be exist.
Yeah, and everyone needs to remember, if you're ever saying, hey, this is a religion of stupid people, and they say, oh, that's Islamophobe, be like, I'm just going with what their Dawa guys say. I'd be an Islamophobe if I don't go with what their Dawa guys say, right? I can't call their Dawa guys wrong. That would make me an Islamophobe, so I have to say they're right.
Just edit the clip, and then every time when someone says that, just play that clip on their face. It works very well. Very well. Thank you very much, everyone who joined us in the chat. I think this was the live stream after a very, very long time from this channel, so it's good to have you down there. By God's grace, we will see you again. David Wood, thank you very much for joining me.